Hi, we're here with Janet Carpenter, and she's the president of the Greater Las Vegas Association of Realtors for 2019. We're talking about the housing market statistics that the association has just released that cover the month of June. So Janet, what jumped out at you this month for the overall housing market? Where are we?
Well, for the past couple of months, George, all I've said is different day, same story. Different day, same story. Well, in June, the median price went up from $300,000, where it's been since the early fall, to $304,000, which $4,000 doesn't sound like a lot. It's really 5% from this time last year. So we have had 5% appreciation from June of last year through June of this year.
So let's put that in perspective for a minute. For someone who's new to town or new to watching these videos or new to keeping track of these things, what's been the recent history of our housing prices over the many years so that people understand where we are and how we got here?
Well, basically, Las Vegas has been major peaks, major valleys, major peaks, major valleys. But now your average economist would say, hey, we're kind of going along where we should be going. Just a little steady increase, 3 to 5% a year appreciation is considered good by most economists. So I think right now we're kind of where we're supposed to be.
Let's talk a little bit about sales and how many houses are changing hands lately. What's happening there?
Well, sales are down. They are down. We will not close as many in 2019 as we did in 2018 or 2017. So sales are down. Not only are sales down, homes are lingering much longer on the market. And we're seeing a lot more expired listings, which means the property's gone through the listing period and no one has made an offer on it and the listing has expired. So agents are now out hustling the expired listings because I think sellers just have not been realistic as to what has happened the past 6 to 8 months with our market being totally flat.
Let's talk a little bit about the supply, our housing supply. I know we make a lot of news here in Las Vegas in recent years as it got so tight, and now we see these big percentage increases year over year in our housing supply. But what's the overall perspective? How many homes are really out there for people who are looking to buy a home?
Actually, there are a whole lot more than there were 6 months ago. I mean, the buyers really have a choice now. That being said, I'm going to talk out of the other side of my mouth and say, really, we're at a 3-month supply of homes, which is tight. We'd like to see 6 months for a more balanced market between buyers and sellers. So even though there are more homes out there, it's still tight.
And I know we track the resale market, but can you give us some kind of idea how all that relates to new homes? What's just generally happening in the new housing market?
Well, what's been happening lately is, generally speaking, years ago, the builders would build homes and they'd build a phase and they'd build a phase. So if someone wanted to buy a new home, they could walk in and find that home in various stages of development. Either, hey, I'm buying the lot because I like this lot and I'm putting my house here, or this one's already framed and I'm going to go in and put in whatever upgrades I want, or this one's standing ready to go. All I have to do is pick out my carpet and I can close on my new home. That's not happening anymore. The builders are not even starting the homes until they have a buyer for them. Now, that's not to say that somewhere along the line new homes are not falling out of escrow. But there was an interesting article in the RJ this morning. Every major master plan community in the valley, from Sky Canyon to Inspirada to Summerlin, Cadence, their sales are all way down from this time last year.
Similar to our resale statistics in terms of fewer sales, but more than they had in some of the slower years.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And so one last thing I wanted to ask you is about what's happening here at the association and for our members. And I know the last few videos we've talked a lot about the legislature, which is now over as we've taped this, and we know what the results are and what's been signed into law and not into law. So what's our bottom line outcome with that bill that we were so aggressively involved in?
Okay, so that would be SB 151, which we kind of think the legislators did a really nasty trick at the very last closing minutes of the legislature. They pulled some of the things we didn't like from a bill that was defeated and put it into a new bill called SB 151. There was no time to react or respond because the session was basically over. And so it still needed the governor's signature. So the realtors in Las Vegas called, they sent texts, they sent emails begging Governor Sisolak to oppose this bill and not sign it or veto it. At the last minute, the governor signed it. So now we're in the process of educating our realtors. If you are working with landlords, if you're working with tenants, there are a number of changes that have been made that we need to educate you on.
Thank you for the update, and thanks for your time.
Oh, thank you, George.